Hi, and welcome to another Godot 4 tutorial where we will continue to work on our inventory. We have a lot to cover this time, so let's just get started. Right now, our player can pick up items, but has nowhere to store them. So we need to create a place to store these items. And you might be thinking that, well, that's what we started creating last time. And it is, of course. But at the same time, it isn't. When we create GUI items, we do this to give the player a view into the game world, or the game model, we could also call it. But we usually want most data and game logic to exist in the model and not the view. A simplified way to think about this is that the model should, in general, be able to exist and work without the view. And, well, what does this mean for our inventory? It means that what we started creating last time was the inventory view, and what we need to create now is the actual inventory model that the Ninja, the player model, has access to in the game world. So now, let's start working on our new inventory model. We won't create a new scene because the inventory won't be a node. Instead, we will make it a resource. If you want to know more about Godot resources, I suggest you read about it in the documentation. I will leave a link in the description to where you can find more about this. To create a new type of resource, we create a new script and make it inherit from resource. I'm also making a new folder for our inventory things. And now let's start by giving our new script a class name. This makes it easier for us to create an instance of it that we can save later. Next, we create an exported array to store the items in the inventory. And now we need to figure out what it is we actually want to store in this array. There is a lot of ways we can create an inventory. We could store the actual collectibles that we placed in the world, or maybe just a string with the name of the items. Both of these can be valid options, but we will do something a bit different. First, we create yet a new resource and call it inventory item. We also give this resource a class name. For now, our inventory item will just have a string variable to hold its name and a texture that will specify how it looks in the inventory. Then we go back to the inventory script and specify that we want the items array to hold only inventory items. Now we can start creating the first inventory item. To do this, we go to the inspector menu to the right and click on the icon to create a new resource. If we search for inventory item, our own new type is found. So let's create one of those. Let's start by creating the LifePod item. We name the item LifePod, and then we add the correct texture. Now save this new resource in the inventory folder in a new folder called items. And let's also create one for our sword. Let's also create an inventory resource for our player. We can leave the items array empty, or we can click and drag life pods and swords into it. Remember to also save the new player inventory resource. To add the new inventory to the player, we then go to the player script and create a new exported variable for the inventory. In the player scene, we can then select the root node and click and drag the new player inventory resource and add it to the player. Now, let's display the items from the inventory in our inventory GUI. But first, let's add some test things to the player inventory. Open the player inventory resource and add a few things. Maybe also keep some slots empty. And then remember to save the resource again once you're done. Now, let's open up the inventory GUI scene and look at the script. Here, we add an onReady variable and preload the player inventory here. And this is one very smart thing we can do with resources. We can load them and add them several places, like both in the player scene and the GUI here. But we really just have one single resource that is only loaded once, so we can share it between nodes like this. The slot GUI also needs an update now. Currently, it just has a background. But we also need a sprite to show what's in the slot. So let's add a 2D sprite node. And then also a script for the root node. In the new script, we create a variable for both the background sprite and the item sprite. And let's also create an update function that takes an inventory item as input. If the item is null, we set the frame of the background to 0 and set the visibility of the item sprite to false. But if there is an item, we set the background frame to 1, the item sprite visibility to true, and the item sprite's texture to the texture stored in the inventory item. Now we need to update all the slots from the inventory GUI script. So let's also create an update function here. We want the GUI inventory positions to match the item's positions in the items array from the inventory resource. So add a variable to reference the slots. And then in the update function, we use a for loop to update all the slots. We use the minimum size of the items array and the number of slots to make sure that we don't get in trouble if we accidentally made one of these larger than the other. Finally, let's create a ready function and call the update function here. And now let's test the game and see what it looks like when we open the inventory. Okay, the items are all there, but we need to get them centered in the slots. So let's go to the slot GUI scene and add a center container as the child of the root, and then a panel as the child of the new container. And finally, let's move the sprite under the panel. Now let's go to the 2D view of the slot and make sure that the size of the center container matches the size of the slot. Let's also select the item sprite locate the transform properties, and make sure that the position is set to 0.0. Finally, let's go to the slot script and update the reference to the item sprite. Now when we test again, the items should be placed correctly in the inventory slots. And the background of the slots also change based on whether the slot is empty or occupied. And that's all for this episode. Next time, we will look at how to insert and stack items in the inventory. Bye!